I used to be the night operations manager for a small chain of roadside diners in rural Pennsylvania. I've seen my fair share of strange late-night incidents, drunks, fights, weirdos, but nothing prepared me for what happened one snow-blown night in 2017. I wasn't there when it happened. Two of my best employees were. The place sat off Route 119, open 24/7, bordered by dense woods, cornfields, and a stretch of road that felt like it belonged to another world. After that night, both employees quit, refused to speak about it, and gave the police their statements before disappearing from everyone's lives. All I had were the security tapes, a few chilling notes from law enforcement, and 1,000 unanswered questions. I still think about it. I still regret watching that tape. The night was one of those brutal northeastern winters. Winds howling, snow stacking up like walls around buildings. Hank was our line cook, a quiet man in his 40s, dependable, worked nights to support his family. Claire, the waitress, was in her mid-20s. Tough, smart, and could shut down a rowdy crowd with just her eyes. That night, they were alone. Just the two of them, manning a mostly empty diner surrounded by snow and silence. I got the call around 3:15 a.m. The dispatcher's voice said police needed access to the diner's office. "There's been an incident," she said. My blood went cold. No details. Just, bad, and, your employees were involved. I tore through the storm to get there, headlights bouncing off the swirling snow. I had no idea what I'd find. I figured it was a robbery, maybe a drunk who'd pulled a knife, or some late-night domestic mess. But what I saw, nothing prepared me for that tape. When I arrived, a state trooper was waiting. We headed straight to the cramped office in back. Old tube TV, dusty recorder, analog tapes. He told me they needed the footage for evidence, but wanted a look first. I rewound to the timestamp, 2:32 a.m. pressed play. At first, it looked normal. Claire was cleaning tables, Hank washing the grill. Quiet. Calm. Then the door opened. Two men walked in. Late 20s, maybe early 30s. Big coats, faded jeans. But it wasn't their clothes that stuck with me. One had a jagged scar stretching from his ear down his jaw. The other's eyes were pure black, like nothing behind them was human. They sat at the counter like they were just tired travelers. Claire walked over, smiled politely, took their order. Hank cooked, his back to them. The men ate in silence. Then, without warning, the scarred one pulled a handgun. The other followed. Pointed straight at Hank and Claire. They didn't say anything. Just motioned for them to move. Claire's mouth fell open, eyes wide, frozen. Hank looked like his soul had left his body. They were herded behind the counter, through the kitchen, and toward the walk-in freezer. At first, I thought the guys were going to trap them in there while they robbed the place. But instead, they followed them in. And shut the door behind them. That steel door stayed shut. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Then 37. I fast-forwarded the footage, the camera pointed squarely at that closed freezer. No movement. No sounds. Just silence. What were they doing in there? That freezer was barely big enough for 4 people to stand shoulder to shoulder. My mind raced. Were they torturing them? Threatening them? Making them do something unspeakable? Finally, after 37 minutes, the door opened. The 2 men stepped out. Calm. Relaxed. The one with the black eyes glanced around the diner, then adjusted his coat. They didn't touch the register. Didn't take $1. Just walked out. Gone. No robbery. No chaos. Just 37 minutes locked in a walk-in freezer with Hank and Claire. 15 minutes later, one of our regulars, a trucker named Rob, came in. He looked around, confused, waited a bit, then started poking around. Eventually, he opened the freezer. What he saw made him jump back so hard he knocked over a stack of trays. He ran to the payphone and called 911, then ran back to shut off the grills. 2 cops arrived minutes later. One of them slowly opened the freezer. Claire stumbled out. She was shaking violently, both hands pressed over her eyes, refusing to look at anything. The officer had to hold her upright. Hank came next, one hand covering his face, the other reaching back toward the freezer door like he was trying to go back in. The officer yanked him away. Hank struggled. Tried to fight. Like something in that freezer was safer than what was outside. Claire curled into a booth, still hiding her face. Hank was placed in another booth, staring down at the floor, hands clenched so tight they turned white. They didn't speak. They didn't look. The EMTs came and took them away. Even outside, neither removed their hands from their faces. I tried to see them the next day. Hospital said no visitors. I called. No answers. Then one by one, they both quit. Claire moved out of state to live with family. Her mom later told me she barely spoke, just short sentences, always with the lights on. Hank vanished. His wife said he stopped talking, stopped eating, then packed up and left. No note. No goodbye. The police never figured it out. No injuries. No robbery. No motive. Nothing. Just 2 strangers. 37 minutes. And 2 lives ruined. The tape didn't show violence. But something happened in that freezer, something so awful they couldn't bear to live the same lives afterward. Rumors spread, gangs, cults, government experiments. I heard it all. But I watched that footage. I saw the look in Hank's eyes as he tried to go back into that freezer. And I knew, some things aren't meant to be understood. The diner's still there. New staff, new regulars. But I never go inside. I still have a copy of that tape. And I'll never watch it again.